How you doing?
Hello.
Remember, we have microphone for questions.
All right. Looking at the tape in Miami, it was very evident that it was an extremely physical, hard-fought football game. A lot of big licks passed both ways in that game. Both teams had their moments up and back. Very physical football game. Two teams that competed extremely hard. A lot of plays made in the game. I think you saw both teams grow in that game. I think they made some plays, especially the second half. We made plays in the first half and second half. All of our younger players kept growing up. I think up front, the games were very physical. Offense and defensive line was very physical. A lot of big hitting in the secondary on tackling. But unfortunately, they made one more play than we did. We got to find a way to capitalize on a couple of opportunities. A little better in the first half, but and finish games off at key moments in the second half. Made key drives, made key kicks, made key stops at times, but just they made one more than we did, one more play than we did. We got to find a way to get that out. Kicking game was really good. I thought Ricky kicked the ball well. Logan punted the ball, did a great job with his inside the 10 kicks, giving us a chance to pin some guys back. Unfortunately, we had the one return that came off. That was to come up with a touchdown off of that. But other than that, I thought our kicking game was pretty good on the day. I got to field a few more punts. We had a couple punts that hit the ground, and we got to make sure that we gave up about 45, 50 yards of field position on that could have helped a little bit. But still hard-fought, physical game. Kids play with a lot of heart, a lot of guts. We got to find a way to continue to do what we do and just do it a little bit better. And again, Miami was a good team, give them credit. But at the same time, we had opportunities. We got to do our things just a little bit better at times. Questions?
Jimbo, with the loss and where your team is right now, I know you can only keep pushing forward, but what are some things that you try to do differently, or maybe try to,
Do what you do better. You do differently. We're on the verge of doing things. You just got to keep coaching better, put them in position, and we've gotten better. You watch the offensive line has gotten a lot better. James gets better. We made plays. Red zone offense got a little bit better. Made some key third down pickups. We got to find a way to, get off the field a couple times on third down. We got in zone twice on third down and had double coverage, and got balls thrown into double coverage, and they made plays. And we got to clean that up just a little bit. But just continue. Special teams keeps getting better and better each week. We just got to continue to coach and find a way to play good football teams. But we're a good football. We should be making that one other play in those games. So we got to find a way to do that. Just coach it better. Try to get the kids in a better position, understanding exactly what they got to do and how they got to do it.
Jimbo, is there an update on Keith Gavin?
Keith's banged up, so I don't know yet officially, but it looked like a pretty good little sprain.
So who would it be? Jackson? Who?
Oh, you got Jackson, you got Tamron Terry, who I said he and DJ Matthews have really been outstanding in practice the last 2 weeks. About on the verge. You saw us put DJ at the end, on the verge of getting into play, and felt very. If it wouldn't have been the Miami game, it's such a competitive game the whole way through, as far as the intensity and some of that rivalry that goes with playing a young player, we got to get them going, and they're going to play well. Jackson, feel very comfortable with him getting in and doing things. Our tight ends keep growing in the passing game along with our backs.
So it seems like Cam Akers really found his rhythm in the second half. He's coming in the progress that he's made, and it seems like he's ready to turn the corner.
Well, he's turned the corner, but what we've talked to him about is that, like I said last week, not every run is there's another huge improvement from last week. Not every run is a touchdown. If we're going to take a 4-yard run, a 5-yard run, a 6, all of a sudden your size and speed, you'll start breaking those runs, which he did. Running north-south. It's not that he doesn't like the physicality. He's just used to being able to bounce around guys and outrun guys and make plays. This level, there's good players, and he's learning to run behind his pads and low level with power. He's doing a great job. And he had a run. Him and Jaquez both. Jaquez had 11 for 90, and he had 20 for 100. I mean, they both had excellent days.
Coach, when asked about the team's record, Jaquez mentioned that the team kind of referenced to USC last year, starting 1-3, winning the Rose Bowl. Is that the mindset you're trying to instill?
Well, no, and also just that no matter what your record is, you play. See, I know. I mean, as fans, and we all have goals, and I know this. And what do we have to play? You got everything to play for. First of all, what if you're a junior eligible draft guy or senior eligible draft guy? What's the NFL looking at? They look at that tape. They see a guy playing his tail off for a team that has suffered some tough losses. That guy's got heart. He's got class. That's a guy I want on my team. He brings us back. He's a guy that could change your organization. And as they play like that, they change your team. That's what they can do here. There's our team for the pride that they have in each other, and also the past guys that play here. What we built this program on, and just keep playing what you. There's no reason, no matter what, if you've lost a game or 2 games or 3 games, how hard you play and the way you play should never change when you line up to play. So to say, what's there to play on, the mindset of that, yeah, of course, they want to think that. They could be 1-3 and won the Rose Bowl, of course. Now, what we got to do is learn to prepare and play Duke. I love the outlook there. I love the intensity. I love the focus of that. You know what I'm saying? Because that says that I'm all in on this team and I'm doing everything. But there's so many reasons individually, team-wise, that you just keep playing your tail off, and that's what we build it on and what they're building on. I liked his answer. I didn't know he answered that, but pretty good insight.
Coach, focusing on Cam Akers and Jaquez Patrick, will their performance change how the offense will play at Duke?
No, I mean, we played it this way this week. I mean, we're going to do the same thing. We'll run the ball, have balance, and be able to create plays in the passing game, but we'll always have the ability to run the football. And I've said that from the beginning of the year, and we're going to do that. And we've gotten better in the running game with our line, and they've learned to run. So they're going to get their touches. There's no doubt.
Could you go into your thought process about punting twice in Miami territory in the first quarter?
Yeah, about the 38, 40-yard line. And our defense is playing well. They hadn't had anything. You get it back, and you're out of field goal range. If you miss, you give them the ball midfield, allow them to be aggressive. You pin them back. We have a great defense. You get it back, and both times we got it back around our own 50 or 40 with a chance to go back and score points. And with being fourth, one of them was 4th and 7, so your odds of picking up 4th and 7 aren't very good. We missed a read on 3rd and 7, and the other one we had a drop on about a 3rd and 6. We had a drop route over there that would have got us a first down. So why not pin them back, which they never got first downs hardly on any of those drives.
Jimbo, you mentioned the lost yardage. Are you going to look at someone else at punt returner?
No, he just got to get. He'd been getting it. There were questionable things. They were those ones where you're slicing away, and just probably didn't want to take a chance. But he can do this. Go ahead and be a little more gutsy and tancy as he grows in that. No, I mean he's doing a great job. He's been fielding the ball extremely well. There was 2 punts that he let, and both of them were balls that were slicing and were cut across. If he was on the right hash on the punt, they were kicked on the opposite side of the field. They were trying to kick it that way, and they sliced it, missed the kick, and just got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? And he can go get it. And it was a wad of people, because one time he went to get it, if you remember, he about got hit. And I think, just to give him experience and keep coaching him on that. But, those can hurt. But no, T-Mac's done a great job of fielding punts, and his ball security been excellent. And he had a couple nice little returns.
In the first couple games, we really saw a knock-on where he kind of struggled to get in the rhythm. Do you think what he did down the stretch of that Miami game could be the spark he needs to really get going?
I hope so. I hope so.
Coach, James really performed well in that fourth quarter. I believe 9 or 10, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. How have you seen him improve reading the middle of the field? He had his zone down the middle of the seam there. How have you seen him?
Well, he reads the middle of the field. It's just, just the experience of being in there, the different looks. He gets better and better. He understands. He can come off and regurgitate to you exactly what he sees. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, he's about 90%, 95% right on everything. We check things on the sideline. So it's really good. And then now it's just a matter of going ahead and trusting yourself. And as that game went on, you could see him the trust factor come on, and he started pulling the trigger. And it's just all part of growing, which he did last week at times. The first week he did it at times. But like I say, he's played 3 games. But his progress has been really good.
Jimbo, not that it makes anybody feel better in the locker room, but like some of the games you played this year, can they be, I guess, examples of how thin the line can be between winning and losing sometimes?
Whether you won them or you lost them. And that's the thing we had done. We had always found a way to win those games. For the most part, we have won 82% of our games or 83% of our games. And we'd always found that one extra play. And that's what we're setting there short. But it is, you show them how close, but how far. And then even when you win them, now we're all feeling good, but really how close you are to that line the other way. But that's the way that's the way college football is. Our league has gotten better. College football, the parity is going across the board. I mean, for the most part, that's kind of the way it goes. I mean, you saw this week with, and I don't mean, there's been upsets all over the place. Teams that get upset. And I think there's a lot more parity out there than we realize. And that's the line you show. Look, right here. If you can show somebody, if I do that different, I can get there. You know what I'm saying? And it gets closer and closer each week, and we've had some tough ones, but there's no doubt that the line you walk when you win and lose, it's really not a big, it's a step or 2 either way.
Jim, I know you've been asked this a couple times since the game, but could you talk a little bit more about the last play? And I think a lot of people would wonder why you wouldn't put 5 DBs at the goal line or in the end zone and try to.
Well, that doesn't, because now if you're at the 20, because you can stick a ball in there, that's the worst thing you can do. When you put him at the line, you're giving him a hole where he can set and throw a slant, a fade, a seam, which uncontested with a body running free and you back, the way guys back shouldered like they did there in that press. T-Mac hadn't had any. He had been man-to-man coverage the whole day. I don't think a ball was caught on him. He had one interference call, which was a very tightly contested play in the first, second half. And when you play, I love on offense, if they do that when I'm inside the 20, at that range, that's the best thing to throw against. Because you can stick seam route, now you can call your offense. Now they got a fade, we got our best player, one of our best corners on somebody. If you played zone, we had played zone earlier and gotten hit twice. If you go back and think about it, the 3rd and 20 was a cover 2 zone, and the 3rd and 12 or 15, they run the dig route and there was a zone route. So we felt more comfortable playing man coverage. And the guy had him covered perfectly. We had them all covered perfectly. They made a tremendous throw and catch in what they did. And that's what we play better probably.
All right, we're gonna go to the phone.
Now, if you're at the 40 or back there, you know, 35, 40, that's a different animal. And because we're already at field goal range, you know, but if you're at the 20, you're nothing. What yard line were they at? 20, 22, 23. When you get inside the 25, that's our grade. We're actually inside the 30. But there's a gauge when you can, as you call the game differently, some plays and things you do.
Because the quarterback can make that throw?
Oh, he can make that throw. And plus, what's the difference? If he throws a jump ball fade, best thing to do on a big receiver is to jam him at the line of scrimmage. You let a big body guy like Auden Tate, we used to do it all the time. You run down there freelance and then go up, they got a better chance of catching it that way than they do the other way. Because the other way is you can jam and ride. Because just like a box out becomes and you get a one-on-one true jump ball. They can get down there and actually get their body where they want to put it. When you're guarding man-to-man, you can press against them from jam them and hit them, ride them, do all those things. It's actually easier to do it from the get-go. A big guy, you never want to let a big receiver get running down there like that in the red zone where he can just body up and play over top of you.
In a spot like that,
You saw it last night with DeAndre Hopkins. Remember that play with Hopkins last night about the 20 going in? They threw it right over it. When you get them big guys get free, their body's free, it's harder to stop them then than if you're pressing. And plus, our guys as big as they were.
in a spot like that, does Kelly, I mean, there's not much time to tell you what his defensive call is. Does he go over that with you, or do you?
No, you don't have time to do it right there. That's you got to. If you're calling a game on the offense, defense, you got to call what you think you got to play inside there to stop them from scoring. I mean, that's you don't have time to go back and forth and do all that right there. If you call timeout, they can set up a play. So, like I say, the big play in that drive. I mean, we can argue that all you want. We had if we got them down on 4th and 3rd and 10. We had the perfect defense, had them called. We got to make the tackle. And then they're kicking about a 46-yard field goal. But we have plenty of opportunities in that game. Offense, defense, special teams, and got to make the play.
All right, Chris, on the phone, you can ask your question.
Hey, Jimbo. I'm curious. There's been a lot of negative backlash against Charles Kelly the last couple of days. What's your confidence level in him right now?
I have extreme confidence in Charles. Charles is a great football coach. He coached a very good game. They made a couple plays at the end, and he's done a really nice job. So we'll continue. Charles will be our coordinator, and we'll go through this year, and hopefully finish the year very strong.
What do you think are the components of holding the team back to maybe playing at a multiple level? Because it's shown it, I think you do so well.
I do. I mean, just consistency. It's focus and consistency, and we got to keep coaching them better. And we got to continue to make sure they understand everything and find that, like I say, that fine line of making that 1 or 2 plays at the right time to get us over the hump. They got to believe, and they got to just keep playing their tails off. I mean, if there's any one thing, if you said you could go in there and just say, boom, there's the thing, you'd fix it right off the bat. It's human nature. You got to be able to grind it out in practice, grind it out in everything you do. We got to coach them better. We got to do a good job of keeping them in position to be successful.
Jimbo, is one of the positives about Blackman the way he's been able to kind of maybe get out of struggles within the same game? A lot of young guys might get in the funk.
Very tough to do. Very tough to do. And now we've got to continue to work on getting him out of the gates a little bit. You know what I mean? Which he did here at times. Early in the game, he had a couple things, but we got to get him out of the gates a little bit, which he can do, and which he did actually really the middle of the first quarter in the first game. You know, we got to get him out of the gates just a little bit better so we can be a little more consistent there. We're running the football better. Got to continue to get him out the gate with some throws.
Coach, with your team off to a 1-3 start, do you have to kind of remind them to stay off social media? You had a linebacker complain about.
I remind them of that every day, and there's rules about it, and those things are dealt with. You're not allowed to be on social media, and you can read it if you want to. I tell them don't read it. I tell them whether we win or lose. It has nothing to do with 1-3, 3-1, 4-0, 10-0. Stay off social media.
So your linebacker tweeting and Instagramming over the weekend's been dealt with?
That's internal.
Going back to James with that fourth quarter timeout you called right before he threw the touchdown, I guess looking back, how important was that for you to kind of just grab his attention there? And
I thought he had his attention. That really wasn't much. I thought he was going to get it. He had made a check at the line on a protection deal, and I thought was going to run it. He actually got it off in the second. I didn't want to take the chance because I knew the play was important. I called the timeout. He actually got it off. I didn't think I had to call it there as far as, because he understood what he did on the play before, because he looked at me and said, I got you, you know what I mean, and acknowledged it. But I did that I said, yeah, I didn't want him to have to hurry going into that play, because he had made a nice check at the line of scrimmage and what he did. So from that standpoint, it was, that's why we did that. But he came over very composed and understood what he did, and we talked about it, and then he went on back. That was a heck of a play. That was a big play.
Is it overstating that timeout did too much for James, or?
Well, I don't know. I think it may have calmed him down. I'll say, I don't know if it's over. I don't know if you have to ask him that, I guess, but you can't do that right now.
I would love to.
Do that next year. But no, but I mean, it does probably slowed it down for him. Just let him regroup. You know what I mean? That's one of the things, and I know sometimes when you get to hurrying, you know what I mean, because of the clock, which, if you ever watch an NFL game, they go down to, I don't know how they get it. They make me nervous sometimes. Them guys, and the silent counts, and they got a trigger, man. They go down there checking all the way down to the thing and get it off. But I told him, you know, just probably did slow it down for him and let him get his breath back again. There's no doubt.
Jimbo, last season on the Showtime show, there was a couple times where you mentioned to your coaches and to Derwin, I think, that wondering if the players were getting the messages. Are you concerned about that at all this year? Has that been an issue?
No, it hasn't been. I mean, we've talked, we communicate. I'm with our unity council a lot. I'm with our seniors. I'm, you know, very open in meetings about them having things and making them answer and regurgitate it back. And our communication levels are good. I mean, they seem very good. I mean, it's just, I say that you just gotta, you gotta live it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they don't, but I mean, every second of every minute of every practice of every play, you gotta, that's what I think, like Tim had said a minute ago. You're right there, but you gotta take that, you know, you gotta push through all the time. There's always that, you know, that one little inch. And I talk about it all the time, and I know everybody thinks it's cliches, but 2 or 3 or 4 inches can determine whether your season is phenomenal or average. And I think you can never quit fighting for that inch. And I think sometimes you got to continue to mature to understand that, you know, there's more in you to get that inch. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the jobs, coaching. That's what we got to do as coaches, to get that outlet.
Jimbo, what percentage of your playbook do you think teams flag this wrong with?
I couldn't say, but I mean, it's not. We're not doing everything. There's no way we're doing everything. I mean, you can't because, and even if you could, there's things you could do, but how well could he do it? You know what I'm saying? And things, but there's plenty in there. I mean, he's doing a lot. He really, and it's enough to be able to move the football and score. And like I say, move the ball. We had 400-some yards of offense against a very good defensive football team. Threw it, had good balance and run and pass, and the things we did. So we've got plenty of offense. There's no doubt.
And how much is he picking up week to week? How much are you able to add on for him?
You do, based on what your game plan is. But you can, this guy now, that's the one thing about it, the thing that excites me the most about him is his ability to learn and learn on the run, but also that once he makes a mistake, doesn't come back and make a lot of the same mistakes twice. You know what I'm saying? He can come off and generally tell you, okay, I understand why I did it. Even if he makes a mistake, I'm not sure. I know, and he almost will answer your question for you. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he thinks. So from that standpoint, I'm excited about where he's going.
Jimbo, with everything, the hurricanes, the cancellations, the postponements, and now the 1-3 record, how tough has this season been for you personally? You've never really dealt with it as a head coach.
No, it's part of life. I mean, it's part of what you do. You line up and you coach. You look at the situation, look at the thing. You don't think about that. Who cares? The world don't care. People don't care. You move forward. You look at what you got to fix and go on. I mean, I joke about it, but that's the truth. I mean, and nobody cares what happens to people in the past and all. They're looking at what's going on in the future, and that's what these kids are. That's what I always tell our guys. Your windshield's 10 times bigger than your rearview mirror. What matters is in your future. You learn from your past. You sit and look in the past all day. You never see what's going in front of you. We got some things we're very close to in front of us that we got to get to. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to push to them, and that's my mindset and how I think.
Have you discussed with administration about rescheduling Louise on Monroe?
I haven't. I mean, that was brought up a long time ago, and I haven't even thought about it, talked about it. You have to ask them.
Is it something you would push for? They would
I
just
have
do?
no, I haven't thought about it. I don't. No, I don't. I mean, that's up to them. I'm not going. I'm just worried about getting ready for Duke.
What could an extra game do for you guys?
Oh, good question.
Like help you before bowl game, more practice?
Maybe good. I guess. Again, I'm not. I'd have to sit and think about it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, I just haven't thought about it.
Jim, in terms of defense, third down especially a concern because you gave up a lot of third and longs in the second half to Miami.
Give up a 3rd and 20 and a 3rd and 12 and 14 into double coverage, yes. Had calls and just didn't make the plays. There was 2 big ones right there, and then we give up the 2 3rd and 10s on the drive. One was a great play. The other, we had a good call. We just missed a tackle. So there was 4 of them. There's no doubt. And we work extremely hard on those.
Is that the play before the final play?
Mm-hmm.
It was what, a whip post?
Just a whip post, just a whip.
Just whip.
They were just throwing his little short route, man route. If they get 4 or 5, puts them in better field goal range and come out. And we just didn't get them on the ground. Not on purpose. And the guy didn't do it. I mean, we just guy ran a good route. We went to tackle and missed a tackle.
Was it Kyle?
I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Their little number 8 made the play. But we just got to make that play and they convert.
Jimbo, in looking at the film, how did the offensive line perform?
Better. Still got some things. There's a couple little things we got to do in pass protection. We got to seal up a couple inside gaps. We got a couple pressures, but they played much better. We ran the football for over 200 yards. We threw it for 200. Had 3 or 4 sacks, I believe it was. A couple pressures that one was critical early. I wish we hadn't got a pressure. We had a chance to throw a touchdown that first drive down there to Nooney that we had to release just a little bit early. And but for the most part, they did a nice job. I mean, they had a couple hits on James, but against who they played against and what they did, they improved drastically, and hopefully we'll continue to grow this week.
Was that a good sign considering how
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it shows you how they're grit. Everybody was on them, and them getting pushed and challenged, and they you know what they did? They didn't read social media. They lined up and played this week and got better. That's what we got to do this week.
Jim, I have a couple of questions about pass defense. Just kind of trying to figure out assignments and things like that. On the 3rd and 20, you guys are in cover 2, I guess. Is the corner supposed to get deeper, or is the safety supposed to be there quicker, or kind of how does that?
Well, the corner's got to sink to a certain level. Safety's got to get over the top because there's no inside vertical on his side.
So it's going to be a combination?
A little bit. But safety, that ball,
Well,
you whip it. That ball should almost never get in there.
And then on the first touchdown to Barrios, where he kind of got in the back of the end.
China route.
Which
one you talking about?
The one where.
What yard line? The one about the 25 in or about the 6 or 7?
6 or 7.
It's supposed to have the outside leverage.
That's what I want. Okay. Because the safety's inside. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. He caught 2 of them on the same route. He caught 2 of them on the same. I mean, one was a China route, the thing. The other was, I don't know if he went on the 6 or the one on. That would have been that was actually the second one.
Yeah, it was the second one.
Yeah.
It was late in the 4th quarter.
See, I knew. But the first one was right when they went up 10-3 on the end of the 3rd quarter. That was the 4th quarter. Yeah, that was the one that made 17-13. Yeah, we were in rat cover. That's why I said we had a single hinder and a helper in the middle.
Coach, following again, a couple that you set up close the last couple of games that didn't go your way. If you brought up your players or you get it out that you guys right now have the #1 strength of schedule. You played.
I didn't say that, but I just told them we played good people. I didn't know. I didn't look at strength of schedule, which I would assume would be right. We found out. I told you Wake was a pretty good football team too. They played Clemson still. Had some great chances in that, but we had the opportunities. But I've told them we played. They know we played good teams. There's no doubt, and that how close we are and how close we have open communication about that. But I said again, it's about us. It's about us making that play and making every play, not leaving anything. And I say no rock left unturned. You got to practice that way. And again, I like their mindset, their capacity. We got to do it, but they've responded with great energy. We just got to get a little more technical, and I got to coach better. We got to do a better job again, putting them in there, making them do it, get it right, and show them how to do it. Help them, because we're all in it together. It's not their fault. That's us. They ain't doing it right. We got to coach them better.
Jimbo, when you look at Duke, just what kind of challenges do they present? And can it be a challenge to go on the road for an unfamiliar opponent?
Oh, it is. You don't play Duke a lot, but we've played them a couple. We played them in the ACC championship game here a couple of years ago. We played them up there in 11, I remember, and then we played them down here. Was it 12? I think we played them 11 and 12. 11 up there, 12 down here. Then 13 we played them for the championship. They've done a great job. They got another great year, 4-2. They're right on the verge of winning all their games. Defensively, very dynamic. 4-2-5 look. Robber coverages, quarters coverage, halves, 2-man, blitz, love the blitz, come with pressure, offense. Cut does a great job. Quarterback power runs, all the different runs, the variations, the routes they do, really good in the passing game, kicking game, cover kicks extremely well, very disciplined, good returners. I mean, they're a good football team. They're 4-2 for a reason. They're playing really good, and they're an older group. They're an older group.
Coach, I want to ask you about a couple injured guys, Trey Marshall, Landon Dickerson.
They're all being evaluated right now. Both of them were pretty significant. I mean, Trey got banged, you know, that'll go day by day, concussion type scenario. The other guys are ankles, and we'll have to wait and see how they. Sometimes, when I say an ankle, if you say one now, something by how people heal. I've seen guys that couldn't walk on Monday and can play on Thursday, or sometimes, and some guys vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that'll all be evaluated as we go. I mean, we'll have to see.
And Hoskins, I think, was the next sprain up at Wade.
He's fine. He played. He was good.
Coach, the team shut down Miami in the first half. With the defense ran out of gas in the second half because of their offense's unpredictability in the first half.
No, they were off the field in the first half. They wouldn't have many plays. And one of the reasons they helped shut them down because we moved the ball on offense and we were very productive on offense. The defense was only out there a limited number of plays. Miami only had 57 yards. They weren't on the field very long. And we did a great job of pinning them back in field position the whole day, which helped our defense greatly, and our defense took advantage of it. But they didn't play too many plays. Second half, we gave up the first drive and then 2 other big drives. But we were moving the ball like crazy on offense in the second half and moved it on the first half. We had almost 170 yards. So they didn't play a lot of plays in the first half. Played more in the second half. And the big thing was not giving up those third downs. We got to get off the field on those third downs a couple times and go.
Jimbo, as far as James, the way he, again, late in games seems to be so dialed in, and earlier in games has some struggles. Is there anything you can do, or thought of anything you can do to help him?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do and how you get them to think. And sometimes they don't want to make a mistake. You know what I mean? Not wanting early in the game, and at the end, man, we got to go. The blood gets flowing, the mind. You just relax and get in the moment, and you see what they've done. You see what they're playing. You see the speed of the game. You see, and the guy hadn't been out there very much. I mean, you know, just the more he goes out there, the better he's going to learn to start because he's going to get used to that pregame warm-up. He's going to get used to how the game starts, the speed of the game, what people do, recognizing, okay, I've seen that before, I've seen that before, I've seen that before. You know what I mean? There's no substitute for experience. And a lot of that has to come with experience and what you can do, and experience that I'll try to do as a coach to get him off to a better start with some things.
So you mentioned he doesn't want to make the mistake. So do you get the sense he plays a little bit freer when he's playing from behind? Because
I don't think because he wasn't really from behind in the others, but just seeing what they do on defense. I mean, his knowledge of being out there. He hadn't been out there on the field. And how many games has he started? And once it's like you go out and do something. Once you start writing a paper, for instance. I always remember when I was in English class, I liked to write. Hardest thing was getting it started. Then once I got it started, the ideas flowed and you would just write it out. You know what I mean? That's kind of how you play sometimes. Just like in a 2-minute drive, the hardest completion, you know what it is? First completion. Once you get the first one, usually those things start to flow. You heard Aaron Rodgers talk about it last night. And once you get that first one, you get going, then all of a sudden, okay, here we go, boom, boom, boom. It's just like in a game. You just got to get you got to get a jump start and get a couple things going. It's not that you're hesitant or scared or you're afraid of behind. You just got to sometimes getting started is the hardest thing. Slowest part of a race is when? The start. It always is. You run faster as you run longer. And it's kind of as your blood gets flowing, your mind gets reacting to things, and you learn to do that as you get more mature.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank you.